And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben, and this is my review for the entire sixth season, the final season of The Expanse. The first episode dropped today. They're going to be releasing weekly until we hit that final sixth episode, and then that's going to be the culmination of the entire six seasons. I'm here to talk about it with you, non-spoiler, but I'm hoping that I'm going to get you excited, whether you're going to be excited about finishing this very interesting sci-fi series like none other, or whether you're going to be disappointed. Let me know in the comments below, who's your favorite character? Who's been that steady character that you've just loved from season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even if they're not with us anymore? Let's jump in. The Expanse picks up with the solar system at war as Marco Inaros and his Free Navy continue to launch devastating asteroid attacks on Earth and Mars. As the tensions of war and shared loss threaten to pull the crew of the Rocinante apart, Christian Avassalara makes a bold move and sends former Martian Marine Bobby Draper on this secret mission that could turn the tide. There are a few sci-fi series that I kind of want to watch from the beginning, and every now and again my wife and I, we will start at the beginning of Battlestar Galactica or a Trek. There's certain ones that just kind of stick with you that you want to experience the whole thing again. The Expanse is up there with Firefly, Battlestar Galactica, probably one of the Enterprise seasons. There's some sci-fi that just kind of has really longevity, and that comes down to really great scripting, really great story, in this case adapted from some novels, but what they've done with the sci-fi, the world creating, is something that I think for years to come people are really going to talk about, enjoy. Remember that moment, those characters right from the first two seasons of The Expanse, which were fantastic to watch, and then we got to that part where it was cancelled and people were like, no, we need more of this, and Amazon picked it up, and we've had a steady increase, not necessarily in storytelling, just in the fanship as people have come aware to this series, because I feel like a lot of people came late to this season. There's been those demographics and those dedicated fan bases that have enjoyed sci-fi, but as more people have been talking about just the quality of the show, everything they get right, from theoretical science fiction movements in space to spaceships design to what actually a culture would look like, taking that information from the books and realizing it in this series. It's been quite a ride. I think you would easily say that it's one of the best out there. I think people really kind of flock to it, and now we have the final 6 episodes. So I'm happy to report that it is fantastic. It's tension building. It's exactly what you want it to be. And when you get to that final episode, episode 6, it's like a goodbye in the best sense of the word. They showcase why this show was good, from battle sequences to dramatic tension building that's going to have you holding your breath. However, it does feel rushed. There are certain storylines that aren't completed, that they just leave. That makes me wonder why they even started to pick them up, specifically in this season. They started giving us a little bit of a certain storyline that they spend a bit too much time on, and then never give us the answers to what's actually going on with that. But the main arc is kind of brought to fruition, which is great. It doesn't leave us hanging with every thread. And then we get those battles that are great because we've had all those seasons building up. I would say this is one of those series that I think Amazon should have dropped all 6 episodes. Because the first episode that you've probably watched now is really kind of a recap of what's happening, or what has happened. It's the consequences. So we have Earth and Mars being bombarded with these giant asteroid rocks that the Free Navy is sending, and that keeps their Navy engaged, so the Free Navy is able to start gathering resources. And then we have Drama, who is reeling from her betrayal, or really they say that she is the betrayer, and she is trying to gather her people that is with her family really, and we have that storyline. And then obviously we have the Rocinante. That is, it's like a showcase. Oh, remember what happened? It's all kind of building pieces, but it doesn't really give you an idea of what's actually going to go on in season 6. Really, it picks up with a decent action sequence in episode 2. We start seeing that storytelling device like they know and love. So they show us one part of what characters are doing in one place, then they jump across to another part of the universe Obviously, it's all going to come down to the ring. That's what it's always been about. It's been hyping up to that. Certain sci-fi mechanics are engaged up the wazoo in this series. I love the way the ships continue to fight. That just feels more realistic. Something between an amalgamation between Battlestar and a more realistic Trek, or a futuristic human race of what we'd be capable of if we ever got this sort of technology. It just, when you see them fight in the suits that they use, in the technology of how it's done, it's more believable than the fantastical nature of some sci-fi series that you just go, that's not how space works. And I think that's what has grounded this series. So when we have the really interesting political nature that kind of drives the series, especially season 6 as well, it's all grounded in relationship and believability, and that's what you get a lot of as well. And of course, you're going to come back to the one of the two things that shone a light at the costume design, which is incredible once again, but also the score, which is one of those theme tunes from this series that you always have stuck in your head. Once you've heard it once and you've reminded yourself of what it is, that comes back into play. But the score itself throughout each episode is brilliant, especially the last episode. They have really felt like, oh, we've got like this amount of budget left, let's throw it all in there. And it's just so embracing. It's brutal along the way. It is brutal, but because we've had those characters been building up, everybody's coming to one culmination of one place at one point. At the end, it's a brutal ending battle. Yeah, without doing spoilers, I can't really say more than that. I enjoyed it. I was engaged. I did feel like once we got there, I was like, oh, is that it? Which is disappointing to me, because there's a lot of the crew of the Rocinante, Rocinante, how am I saying that right? You feel like they're family. You feel like you know the characters, and they show a wariness. They're battle worn, they're tired. That comes through in their acting. The characters are like, okay, one last push. And there's this emotionality to the characters now. They've all like grown heaps and bounds. So when these action set pieces are happening, you're like, yeah, I'm so there with them. It's bittersweet because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm glad it's coming to an end and not outstaying its welcome. But I would have liked another 4 episodes to maybe wrap it up properly. It does feel somewhat rushed. I like the ending, but just at least 2 more episodes just to kind of finish some story threads. I guess they're leaving it open-ended to allow us to believe that these characters in this world are going about and doing their business and things are still happening, but we have a sort of understanding of where the story has come to an head. Let me know your thoughts below. Are you excited to see the rest of the episodes, or are you worried about what they're going to do with the ending? Have you enjoyed it? Where would you rate the series in your ranking? I would have to go 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6. I don't know. I think maybe just chronologically. That's not to say that they like terrible. I just think they started off really stronger, and that for me was the best series, probably the first 2, and they were slightly weaker, but that they were always strong. So let me know your thoughts. Give me your ranking down below. Who's your favorite character? So all in all, I would rank this season 4. I would like to give it higher, but I can't because of the open-ended storylines, and it feels like it was rushing in some places. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.